Hi, and thanks for joining me again for Tom's Take this week. I'd like to thank my friend and sponsor, Kathleen Whalen, for supporting this ongoing multimedia project. I'd also like to thank you for staying tuned in and offering your feedback. Not much to do in an introduction this week. On Saturday, I was on the air and I discussed the ill-advised Facebook post of LaSalle County's clerk and all the blowback that's come as a result of it. It was so unnecessary. But I pretty much was running the video as I was on the air, so we're going to show you how it looked from the video side when I was on the air on Saturday morning.
Not all local is created equal. This is Starved Rock Local, 1039 WLPO.
One of the responsibilities we take very seriously here at 1039 WLPO Starved Rock Local News is covering local news carefully and responsibly. This is Tom Henson with you this morning hosting. But normally I do the morning news anchoring here during the week with Rod Thorson. And as part of my regular work this week, I stumbled on a public Facebook post from LaSalle County Clerk Jen Ebner. And it was a couple of stick figures, as has been described, like you might see on street signs. One was made out of the American flag. The other was made out of the rainbow flag, signifying LGBTQ. And in this image, which has made the rounds online, it's nothing new, the American flag figure was kicking the pride flag figure in the stomach, and the pride flag figure was flying backwards, sort of toward the off-screen. And the caption with it said that it's finally July. Now, the point of the meme, obviously, is to say that the poster is glad that Pride Month is over. Now, this indeed was the personal Facebook page of County Clerk, LaSalle County Clerk Jen Ebner, Republican. But she's a public official. And her job isn't just about running elections. It's not just about running board meetings. It's also about marriage licenses and other sensitive issues. And it doesn't even matter. A public official has no business posting this where anyone can see it. That's how Facebook works. It's up there. Unless you're blocked from it or you select an audience to see it, I'm gonna read it. Anybody else can too. It was public from a public official. So bearing those things in mind, I called her office for a comment, as a reporter contacting a county elected official for her comment. She wasn't there, but to her credit, she called me right back. Before I even had my question out of my mouth, she started with rueful type laughing, like, After I was done talking to her, I summarized our call on my personal Facebook post. Personal, not radio station, personal. I know that people can read this, but still, it's something that I didn't think elevated to necessarily sharing as a WLPO news story quite just yet. But I wanted to share what an elected official had been saying. That itself is worth posting. Now, on this call, and as I posted word for word in my post on Facebook, she first told me to stop following her Facebook account. I wasn't following her. Facebook doesn't work that way, as I just detailed. It's a public post that I saw, just like anybody else could see. That's how Facebook works. Then she tried telling me the meme was a celebration of July 4th, the patriotic stick figure kicking the pride flag stick figure. No, okay. Patriotic. Then she said my call was proof that the media has an agenda. That's one of the fallbacks that officials turn to when they realize they've done something wrong, but they don't want to admit it. Then she asked me on the phone why I don't cover her other posts. Because I don't. I don't have to. This one was important enough to cover. That's a reporter's prerogative. If I have any agenda in the WLPO newsroom, it's to cover what's important. An elected official posting a hateful meme is important. The whole thing shocked me. She's free, of course, to do whatever she wants in this country. She's also free to do something incredibly stupid. And we're free to report on it when she does. Brian Doze is a member of the LaSalle County Board. He also has one of the most thankless jobs on the board. He's the Finance Committee chair, and he's pulled the county through some tough situations just in the time that I've been covering the county board meetings. Well, Brian, member Doze, called in to Rod and Tom Friday morning, and he was upset about the situation. And if you heard that discussion, you know that. But he sent me a statement, as I requested, to sort of summarize his feeling on it. And his statement reads exactly like this. Whether the county clerk's views are xenophobic and or homophobic, they have no place in LaSalle County, especially from an elected official. We are better than that. Yes, he's a Democrat, she's a Republican, but take the politics out of it. He's absolutely right. The day after the ill-advised post, and when it started getting traction, County Clerk Jen Ebner posted something on Facebook. She doubled down. Just as I hope she wouldn't. But others on Facebook kind of said, yeah, they will. People will do this. Maybe I'm naive. But she did. She doubled down. Here's an exact reading of her Facebook post from the next day, day 2. For those upset about my pick of, quote, out with one thing and on to the next, unquote, that so many other people have posted before me, yes, and after me, yeah, and gotten nothing said to them, maybe. I'm not against gays or the community. Good. She says, my gosh, find something better to do with your time. This is my job. She goes on to say, my elected position doesn't even have anything to do with lawmaking. That's irrelevant. So why let the media stir up some crap? I didn't. I reported something you freely wrote and posted. And I reported our phone call, word for word. I even read back, Jen, every single thing you said to me on the phone because I couldn't believe I was hearing it. I verified every single thing you said to me before our phone call ended. You know that. Or are you taking one post and what someone else who doesn't know me either, yeah, I don't know her, it's irrelevant, is saying about me to stir up some hate about me? Nope. Reporting what you said. Before you form your opinions about me, think for a moment, please. Think for yourself about where those opinions are coming from. If you're okay not liking me or hating on me because of what someone said instead of knowing the person I truly am, it's what you said. It's not what I said. It's what you said. Well, there is nothing I'm going to be able to say or do to change your mind. But if you think this is ridiculous and you want to know me, by all means, I don't mind sharing the true me with you. Oh, I think you are sharing your true you with us. I'm signing off social media for the night, she says, so good night and God bless. Jen, my guess is Jesus and God would not bless this. Just a hunch. But apparently I don't know them as well as you do. I would like to say she's entirely free to do whatever she wants. It's a free country, as I've already said. But in saying that, I think I'm also giving her a lot more latitude than she's willing to give others, including gay and lesbian people. Owning up to a mistake is a sign of maturity and character. Deflecting, denying, doubling down, plain old making things up is weak and childish in an elected official. The voters are watching, Jen, and if you think the LaSalle County voters are going to forget this or believe your nonsense reply and a lack of accountability, then you're selling your voters short. So good luck with that approach. It's not working. I'll tell you how it's not working. Here's more evidence. She's a Republican, but we did get reactions from several entities, including the chairwoman of the LaSalle County Democrats, Kathleen Ford. She sent this statement. I'm quoting directly. I'm angered and distressed that the LaSalle County Clerk publicly posted derogatory and hurtful statements and cartoons on Facebook aimed at the LGBTQIA2S+ community. This type of rhetoric has no place in our great county. These posts question her abilities to equitably fulfill her legal responsibilities to all citizens of LaSalle County without her personal opinions coloring her judgment and duties. Personal opinions have no place in the discharge of her elected public duties, she continues. I would ask all county and state officials, including the county board, to review ethics, human rights, and diversity laws to ensure that no state or county laws have been broken. Kathleen Ford of the LaSalle County Democrats continues, I would also ask the LaSalle County Board to enact any needed ethics, human rights, and diversity laws to protect all LaSalle County residents and visitors alike. And we have millions to our state parks alone each year. And where are they coming from? More tolerant places, typically. They're going to love this. She continues, as someone who grew up in LaSalle County, I know that it has always been a welcoming and inclusive place for all its residents and visitors, and I would not want to see this change now. Jen Ebner's own party replied. They issued a statement, unprompted by us, as was the Democratic response. But here is the response from Jen Ebner's own county Republican Party. Word for word. Recently, a LaSalle County Republican elected official chose to repost a graphic on their personal Facebook page. Though the graphic is open to some interpretation, a reasonable person could assume it rather crudely reflected pleasure with the ending of LGBTQ plus Pride Month. The LaSalle County Republican Party views that posting and the message behind it as both unfortunate and inappropriate. It does not represent the platform nor the opinions of the LaSalle County Republican Central Committee or the Republican Party at large. Larry Smith, chairman of LaSalle County Republicans, continues with his statement. Our party supports all Americans in striving for a better, more fulfilling, successful life for all citizens, regardless of race, creed, or sexual orientation. As President Lincoln once said, a house divided cannot stand. As Americans, we need to put aside our differences and celebrate the blessings of being fellow Americans. That, I would say amen to as well. Well, then, State Representative Lance Yudnock weighed in. Yes, he's a Democrat, but my take on this is that he's responding as a state legislator and not a member of a political party. State Representative Lance Yudnock said this, I am very disappointed that an elected official in LaSalle County would post such a divisive and hurtful message. It is imperative that all elected officials complete their legal duties to the fullest extent of the law, regardless of their personal opinions. But this conduct forces many to question her ability to fairly serve everyone in our community. My office will be contacting the Attorney General's office and the Human Rights Commission to determine if any laws were broken. That's State Representative Lance Yudnock. It didn't have to get to this. It didn't have to come to this. It shouldn't have. She shouldn't have posted it, of course, in the first place, given her public role. Having posted it, she could have just owned it when I called her for a comment. Having not owned it when I called her for a comment, she could have not posted an inaccurate, selfish deflection. But she did. So this is happening. Jen Ebner brought every single bit of this on herself. And she is the only reason it keeps inflating. How many times on the weekday morning show have Rod Thorson and I pointed out that when our national leaders act like they've been aggrieved, that they've been damaged, they've been picked on, singled out, instead of just owning their losses, their mistakes, their actions, other elected officials see this behavior and they're going to emulate it. Kids see this behavior and they're going to emulate it. So I have some questions. Will Jen Ebner finally take ownership of this whole mess, unequivocally, without reservation, without slippery language, deflection, doubling down? Will the county board take action against their clerk who handles the day-to-day functioning of the board and is also involved in hiring decisions at the county level, I must say, too? You remember Crystal Loughran, perennial candidate who's part of Jen Ebner's circle? She's declared her Republican candidacy for the 76th District State Representative. She is a public figure now, having done that. She should respond as well. I hope Crystal Loughran is going to step up and do the right and brave thing and stand up to this. And not maybe say, well, the LaSalle County Republicans have already issued a statement. I don't have to. I'm going to stand by that. If you're asking for our vote, you owe us a statement if we ask for it. And we're asking for it. And it goes without saying that you're asking to represent areas outside of LaSalle County, too, anyway. But, you know, when she was running unsuccessfully, Crystal Loughran, in one of the two races she lost in the last election, she sat in my mother's home and lied to my mother directly about an issue. So, yeah, I'm not holding my breath that Crystal Loughran's going to suddenly do the right thing. I would be very pleasantly surprised, and as soon as I see her do the right thing, I'm going to say it. But I think the biggest question I have right now, when will taking personal responsibility for one's actions be the default response ever again? That's my take.
1039 WLPO.
Thanks again to Kathleen Whalen of Whalen Financial for supporting this multimedia project. If you're listening to this on Sunday morning on the air, you can also catch the video at Starved Rock Media's YouTube channel. If you have somebody or something you think you'd like to see covered, you think I might be interested in, I'm always looking for interesting things and people to talk to. So give me a call, 815-223-3100. I'll talk to you in the morning.